Right, back at it. Hopefully. Maybe. Alright. Chat window. How do I pop this damn thing out? I really can't. I can't computer anymore. I'm too old for this. Twitch TV, or yeah, dashboard, chat, triple dots, pop out chat. There we go. All right, chat's all popped out. You can tell I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time. And trying to get to the main page. All right, everything's good there. Looks good. All that looks good. Chat window looks good. And let's see if roguelike tutorial comes up. Yep, that looks nice. All right. Cool. So what did I do? I cleaned up a couple of things. Did I? Yeah. Cleaned up a couple of things. And yep, so I can push that, which is now, so there's my blood spatter. Get the blood spatter working. It's not great, but the general idea is there. All right. Okay, so that works well. I need to get enemies moving around and doing interesting things. Right now they're just kind of standing there, and it's fun shooting them. But yeah, I need to get them moving around, doing something. So it might be just a thing to just create just a generic enemy AI kind of thing. So if I do tick enemies, right, I don't have tick enemies function. So I have an enemies move, and what enemies move does is it does this like move protocol bullshit, and that's what I originally started with, and it wasn't great. I didn't like it. So I think I might not do that. In the shooting mechanic, a couple of things is the cone is the visibility of the cone is okay, but like if they see you, it's kind of not fair in the regard. I want to make it challenging that in that when you see the enemy, you've got a good sight range of up to, you know, however many 24 squares. But the enemy only has a small number of squares, and it's like, you know what? If you can see them, they can see you. And I just hit myself. So that's one part of it, and see, like, I don't necessarily like how those just coins kind of just like takes a second and then just doesn't doesn't feel right as far as the shooting is concerned. So so I think I want the enemies to behave more like the player. So those are some changes that I want to make. And yeah, I just want the enemies to do something. Make them difficult to kill. And something that you have to actually like outsmart. Yeah, that sounds good. So I want to get rid of the cone, the vision cone. It's kind of dumb. The letter M doesn't really signify direction, which is annoying, which is why I have the cone. So let me fix those things, and then yeah, let me find something that's at least directional. And then from there, I can start looking at how to do this visibility stuff. All right, let's show my legend. All right, what do I have? Let's see. Happy to see you streaming. Didn't know you were doing 7 day. Yep, finally, finally doing a 7 day roguelike. I've It's been a busy 4 years. It's literally been 4 years since I've been able to actually get back into streaming and getting caught up on like all the all the things I need to get caught up on. But but yeah, I've made so many attempts to do 7 day roguelike, to do Ludum Dare and Global Game Jam. It was always it always faltered, unfortunately. But yeah, things are finally settling down. All right, so I've got an up arrow, down arrow, left and right arrow. So maybe I can use those for the enemies with respect to like which way they're facing. So you know if you're like coming up behind them versus not. So maybe I can use those things for these militia people. So I want yeah, 1,0. So yeah, let's try to redo the enemies. And I'll call this enemy east, right? East is 1,0. Was it 1,0 was east? Yeah. Enemy east is 1,0. So right now I'll render that for everything, and then we'll take it from there. Have you been, Poprox? What you been up to? What's new with you? Thanks for joining the stream. Thanks for interacting. It's always nice. Keeps me motivated. So if I take all the enemies out, and I just want the enemy at 6 and 20. Let's see what that looks like. All right, so there's my 6 and 20 enemy. Cool. Yep, so he disappears if I can't see him. He's looking to the right. So in the render, I'll look at facing enemies. My render enemies function. So that's my blood spatter, foobar, and then locations. So I don't care about the vision cone anymore. I can get rid of that. And then the tile key I also don't care about because I'm just gonna use the same tile set for now. Are you planning on doing 7 day roguelike too? Gonna start tomorrow. Yep. Do you still have that crazy desk with the low monitor? Um, I've been through a number of iterations. GitHub, github.com, Mirjan, just, I'll post a link. Yeah, evolution of battle station. So this is my, yeah, let me post this link. And I actually did like a guest podcast thing. Hey Levy, how's it going? How are you? Thank you for joining again. So yeah, if you go to that gist, that has like the kind of the 15 iterations that I've done, and then this is my latest iteration here. And I did a podcast um with SourceGraph, and we talked about agronomics across the board, and I'm thinking about different evolutions and updates. I'm still kind of in a limbo state of trying to find a better top monitor. Um, Pixel density is a thing, and it's just it's not great, right? My primary monitor is 6K, and so then any secondary monitor just feels really horrible. Well, soon going to sleep. It's quite late, but decided to come along for a while. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I gotta make a mount for my monitor. It's a decent size. It just sits too high. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get it right, and you sacrifice mobility of like getting in and out of your desk if you do like a really locked in setup. So I've I've dialed it in as best as I can, and it allows me to work for an extended period of time, which is good. And for right now, I just kind of like leave it at that. All right, so no cones. Do we get rid of the cones? All right, so we don't need the cones anymore. And we're just gonna create the enemy. All right, so there's our enemy. And then our tile key is not going to be what we want to use. So tile key is equal to case e dot facing when east. Then we want enemy underscore east. And then we'll just copy that north, south, east, and west. What game are you planning to create for 7 day 7 day roguelike? Got anything? Got any ideas? Cool. So he's facing the correct direction, which is good. And then for the tile sheet itself, north, south, east, and west. And so that would be 1011 for west. And north is what? 114, and then south is 115. All right. So I got my cardinalities. The enemy's facing right. Sweet. So let's try to redo the enemies and figure out what we want to do with them. All right. So I'm here in a dungeon Being a guard, I've been a guard for a decade now. Shit gets old real fast. So I just kind of do my rounds, look at a direction, walk, maybe turn right or left after a couple of steps, walk some more, go back to where I was, and then do that over again. Right? That's what a guard does. So let's see, tick enemies. Yeah, turn-based roguelike without a map. All right, it'll generate 3 actions you can take each turn, and with the probable outcomes to each. The actions will be generated based on a pretty simple simulation of a dungeon. Want the whole game to be playable in 15 minutes. So I like that. I like short sessions a lot. Like Into the Breach. I freaking love that game because I'm only committing to 5 turns, right? It's like the stage is not going to last tactic ogre 45-minute battle kind of thing. It's like 5 turns, I can get it done, put it down, and then bring it back. And I like that really focused game plan approach a lot. I'm basically creating Metal Gear Solid meets Rogue, right? So sneak around, assassinate things, hide bodies, um, do distractions, and things of that sort. And you've got special abilities to control metals. And that's based off of a book that I recently read called the Mistborn series. So I got I got inspired by kind of like the world building that was in there. 15 minutes. We'll see how it turns out and what feels right. Yeah, uh, I think it's a. I really like the scope. Small, tiny experiences. Get a feel for whether there's like something there that will pay dividends, or that's something you can build on. We'll be watching my progress. Yeah, I'll be working today and tomorrow, and then after that, it's just the week starts back up, and taxes are around the corner for me. So I'm trying to pack it in for these next 2 days. Um, get something interesting. Hopefully, get people that say, "Hey, I like this," or "It was boring," or "It wasn't," and then decide from that whether I want to invest more time into a more longer experience. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, shooting. I'm not going to worry about that. I need to figure out the vision again, and we'll just start from start from square zero, circle zero, origin zero, what have you. All right. So for each enemy, what do I want to do? Let's just walk in the direction that they're facing. So they're facing east, and that might not be the. I don't need the vision radius. I don't need the that anymore. Move cooldown might be something that I want to keep in there. Kind of like the speed of their movement. Okay, I like. I'll keep that. I like having the concept of move at, like the last time they ended up moving. So that works. I'm good with that. So if we go back to tick enemies, what we want to say is, what do we want to say? So if the last time they moved, yeah. So if e dot moved at dot elapsed time using state dot clock is greater than e dot move cooldown, then we can do our move. We do our move, and then we want to update e dot moved at to equal state dot clock, the new clock state. So hopefully every little times with index on walls. What are you complaining about? Here are the details. Set a default value for walls. Where's call stack for that? Okay, no call stack. I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm still getting that value. Times with, oh yeah, vision radius is no longer a thing. Right. Vision cone 4. It's not something I'm doing anymore. Don't need this foobar. These methods aren't being used. Everything's terrible. I should probably just comment them out. Or just, yeah. Not entirely delete them because there might be some facets that I still want to use within them. I don't think I'm using this anywhere anymore. 336. Using it there, using it there. Yeah. So those are the only places I was using that. All right, so that got rid of that warning, which is good. Tick enemies. Why aren't you moving? So if moved at elapsed time state dot clock. So because I haven't moved, the enemy won't move because it's, yeah, that makes sense. Cool, that's nice. 364 state dot clock. Yeah, I think I have a clock value. Yep, there's my clock value. I'm wondering if I just, yeah, let me do a full reset. Yep, still getting an issue there. So tick enemies, 364, method name greater than on 30 elapsed. If e dot moved at, and then e dot move at dot elapsed time is greater than move cooldown. And I do have a move cooldown. It looks like I have all the properties that I need. Let me print the enemy real quick, just to make sure what I have here. Yep, that looks good. Is my tick not initialized? Tick if needed. Yeah, tick 4 is greater than 0, or if any coins are moving around, then we want to resolve any movement. So I think that's good. So it attempts the tick. We increment the clock, and then we look at the elapsed time given that value. So if I go to numeric, yeah, tick override is there. So what happens if it's just p dot e dot moved at elapsed time, and I give it state dot clock? What value do I get there? What's the name? Elapsed time with arcs? It's missing. Oh, doesn't exist on nil. State dot clock should be initialized though. Yeah, state dot clock should be 0. Let me verify that value is initialized. Yeah, state dot clock's 1. And then if I do state dot enemies, is that initialized? Yep, that has values. Is it move at and not moved at? That's it. Move at. Did you mean move at? Cool. So how is this going to work? Yeah, I don't need to do that. And I still want to do the puts here. That's the tricky part about Ruby and like the name conventions and its contention with like English. So it's include and not includes. So array.include 15 as opposed to array.includes the number 15. So you think about some action happening. Is it moved at? Is it move at? Do you remove the past tense and just leave the base word in there? But basically that's what tripped me up. Yeah. And let's move cooldown. 9 people on the stream. Welcome everyone. All right, so if I move, cool. And the enemy moves. So yeah, I move about 2 times faster than the enemy. All right, so let's look at if I've got any concept of facing. Yep. See, I'm glad I didn't delete that code. So enemy's just gonna he's just gonna walk and keep going in that direction and not know that I'm stalking him. And I can slowly catch up, right? And I can drop the coin and shoot him in the butt. And then that's the death animation right there. So that works. So when does he decide to turn around? How do guards move? If I was a guard doing an overnight thing and I was really bored and I was going through the motions and just going through the rounds. Yeah, I guess I just would kind of traverse the room that I'm in. So if I, hit a wall, then follow the right side of the wall basically, kind of like a maze. I don't want to make a maze solver. I'm gonna end up having to make a maze solver, aren't I? Okay, let's do that. So let's change the vertical wall here to be. It's like I don't want to solve a maze. It's not funny, but yeah. Pro tip: if you're ever if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're like, holy crap, I'm stuck in a maze, and my entire life depends on it, just follow the right wall, and you will make it out if it's a conventional maze, and the axe murderer hasn't found you by the time you traverse that area. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Why am I doing this? All right. So our friend here, our little enemy. Now he's gonna, yeah, he just disappeared into the wall. Great job. Great job, enemy. You just walked right into the wall and went away. That's exactly not what I wanted you to do. All right, so move out. So I guess if he's, yeah, maybe like a step away from the wall. Sure. So they do the move. Before doing the move, we can see if they end up going inside of a wall. All right, so it's like it's my turn to move. With where I'm facing, is there a uh, wall in front of enemy is equal to, and this pattern here is going to get kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to find some kind of generalization for this. Though predetermined routes don't work too well for randomly generated rooms. Um, Predetermined routes don't work well for randomly generated rooms, yes. Uh, but the generic algorithm of follow the right wall kind of kind of might work. Maybe, possibly. So what was it? Lipty cod. So if we look at just give me a dungeon. Where is your website? Do you have a website? Getting started. Latest documentation is here. I just want console context, tile seats, how to's. Getting started. Nice. Give me a wall. Oh my gosh. Why is this so difficult? Uh, we'll just take a NetHack image. NetHack images. All right, so like maybe something. Open image, a new tab. All right, so something like this, right? So if I'm starting here, I go to the right, and I'm going to follow the right wall, right? Ah, follow the right wall. There's a door. Go in there. Follow the right wall. Follow the right wall. Follow the right wall. Keep going. Right, so right here is where they would potentially get in a loop. And they would just like sit here forever. So that's good to know. Follow the right wall. Back around. And there you have it, right? So he'll make it back. So this open loop right here is wait. No, actually no, because I would do this and then I went up and I shouldn't have. I should have went that way. So yeah, I think this would work. Follow the right wall could work as long as the maze has certain properties. It's not predetermined. Yeah, if it's like one of those like circular mazes where you know those like in Turok, right? Good luck with that. Um, but uh, but yeah, let's see. Certain properties. It's not predetermined. It's responsive to the environment. Uh, just left if there's a wall in front of you, turn right. If there's no wall to your right, move forward. Otherwise, yep, basically. Right, and then you get here and you're like, okay, there's a wall here, there's a wall in front of you, so you want to turn left, keep going, and then keep going down that maze. I just don't want to create this algorithm. This maze walking algorithm, I've never done it before. And it's like, how hard can it be? And I'm going to spend the entire night trying to get this stupid enemy to walk around. So let's see what happens. And if it starts being ridiculous, then I'll be like, take 10 steps and then pick a random direction, turn that way, and take 10 steps, right? Excuse me. All right, so wall in front of enemy, if they're facing that way, the location of the wall would be x is equal to e dot south. So they're facing south, so the x value would not change. And then the y value would be e dot y minus 1. So that's where the wall should be. All right. And if they're facing north, then it would be above them. East would be to the right. And then west would be to the left. Instead of intelligently solving the maze, you could have them wander randomly, which would allow them to eventually traverse most of the places. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how it goes. It's an interesting problem, like just doing like a maze solver, kind of seeing how quickly I can do it. But yeah, if this ends up being like, oh, there's all these caveats and weird things, I'll just be like, yeah, just if there's a wall in front of you, pick a random direction and then continue walking again. So I can at least leverage this facet of it, right? Excuse me. State.walls.find. So I'm going to find a wall where intersect lock of the wall and then the possible wall. Right? And if that value exists, so that means the wall exists, I want to turn, if they're facing east, I want to turn north, so I want to turn counterclockwise. Right, so if wall exists, do this. So E dot facing will be when south, it will be south, east. When north, it will be west. When east, it will be north. And when west, it will be south. Cool. Wall, turn. And then you keep moving. And you either turn or move. So we'll give him like a little bit of a, quasi delay. Make him a tiny bit slower than the player. All right. So technically, he's about to, let's see, he's about to walk into the wall. He's like, OMG wall. And you just kind of like dilly-dallying around. Cool. Let's go with that. And I probably want him to like not be right in the wall. So maybe, yeah, maybe like 3-ish. That means you got to be careful of not spawning any enemies that are more than 3 closer to the wall, because then they might walk through it. But we'll worry about that later. Right, so he sees the wall. Yep, and then he kind of turns around, still does his thing, and I can like maybe pick up a coin. I hit myself. That was hit myself through a wall. I need to fix my own wall stuff. Um, we have some rate casting, right? How do I how? Yeah, I have to drop the coin, and then shoot it. Boom, and oh, yeah, and if you're dead, you shouldn't be able to move. You shouldn't keep walking if you're dead, because then you'd be the Walking Dead. Did the Mistborn series have a concept of zombies in there? Yeah, they had the mist raids, so maybe like some of these end up turning into mist raids, and there's a really interesting world building in there. All right, so let's close out this room. Set the Y value. Maybe set it to 30. Yep, that looks good. So walking. Yeah, so right here, we're already seeing the issue with the algorithm is that now that there's an opening, he should turn right instead of continuing to go straight, right? So this is the maze finding crap that I definitely did not want to do. So with every move, you want to look counterclockwise to see if there's a wall there. If there is a wall there, then keep going the way you're going. Otherwise, turn and move towards that wall. Yeah, like stupid things like that. And this three based padding is gonna cause issues with that. But I think that's good. All right, so there's a possible wall thing. And yeah, we'll just let him slam right up against the wall. There's the wall. There's a wall in front of you. What's wrong with you? Yeah, this is supposed to be one. You just went right into the wall again. It's like, really? Yep, so he turns. Starts walking that way. Turns again. Yeah. So it's not a perfect maze finder, but that looks sufficiently okay. All right, so we have an enemy that moves. Now I want to say if the enemy can see the player, then immediately throw a coin, right? So we've got this like I've got this like walk cooldown or move cooldown. I could just generalize it to say, action cooldown. Action cooldown. Walking inside wall is so inconsiderate. I know. Like I'm trying to assassinate you. Oh, I hit him into the wall. So that's great. That's great. He was so close to the wall that he actually. Are you still walking? No, you should be dead by now. Yeah, you're definitely dead. And so, what should a dead enemy look like? I can just change the color for now. Game underscore scene. North, south, east, and west. Merge. So if e dot dead, else end. So we'll keep them red is dead. And we'll say brown. Brown is alive. Brown. All right. There's our friend. Shoot him in the back. And he's dead. Cool. Pick up the coin. That coin. Pick up that coin. You know, have an option to loot, maybe loot bodies. And drop the coin. Shoot it against the wall. And then it ricochets off. Cool. Or I can pull it towards me and hit myself in the face. Or just something that you want to be careful of. Threw myself out again. We'll get those collisions working at some point. All right. Now I want the enemy to shoot me instead of moving if they are able to. So action cooldown or cool game.rb action cooldown. I think these colors are kind of opposite of what you would expect. So you want red to be alive and brown to be dead? I can change it to that. What do y'all think? Red alive, brown dead? Red is danger, but blood is red also, right? So he's bloody now. And that's why he's dead. Because he's made of blood. Or he's got blood on his shirt now. I'll change it. Fine. Okay? It's changed. Red is alive, dead is there you go. I've changed it. Cool. I'd expect perhaps yellow is alive and brown is dead with red splatters around. I am not changing again. This is what's called bike shedding. Friends. We are bike shedding now. Y'all have to fight to the death or something. Like it's a tie right now. There's maybe someone in the audience can provide their input. If there's if someone provides a third option, I quit. It's like everyone's just that's exactly what's gonna happen. We're gonna have three color options, and every single new person's gonna have a new idea of the color. All right, so let's go back to game.rb and shit. What was I doing? Right. I want to look at move. So if I look at tick enemies, right, def tick enemies move. And make this a kind of an implicit private function kind of thing. And I want this to be next also. So next if don't attempt to do anything with the enemy if they're still on cooldown. All right. Once they're off cooldown, then we can do this stuff. Right, so this is the construct of moving. All right, so hopefully I didn't break anything by doing that change. Yep, he's still doing his move pretty nicely. I'm right behind you. Poke. All right, so now I want to say, how did I do visible enemies? So enemies can see enemy. So if you can see the enemy, that means they could see you. So if the player can see the enemy, then there's an opportunity for the enemy to see the player. And how would that work? So the enemy must be facing towards the player to see them, right? So if I take dx, which would be, I'm going from the enemy to the player or player to the enemy. I always forget. We'll pick one. Player.x minus e.x. And the delta of y would be player.y, e.y. And then we want to see which is the larger one. If dx is greater than dy, the absolute values, and then we want to consider either east or west. So if dx is less than 0, then west. I think that makes sense, right? Because if we take the player, if the player is on the left side and the enemy's to the right of the player, that means the player's x will be smaller than enemy's x, which will cause a negative number. And so the enemy has to be facing west to see the player. If it's greater than 0, then he has to be facing east. And there you have it. So, what was it? Target direction. So we'll set target direction equal to that, or that. So else if dy.abs is greater than dx.abs, and then we change all the dx's to dy's. And then this one would be, if the player has a lower number, then he needs to be facing south, otherwise north. And then from there we would say, if target direction is equal to the direction that the enemy is currently facing, puts I see you. What are the chances that this will actually work? This will definitely not work. Is the enemy moving? No. God freaking A. Oh, else. Okay, so that needs to happen. We'll put that up there. Can we see the enemy? Target direction. Sure. And then enemy alerted. So that defaults for starting off. It might. You might be right. It ain't perfect. It's also kind of hard to like kind of line up and eye the diagonal, and you move faster than the enemy also. So and you can't move diagonally, so you either have to move down or right. But potentially, yeah, you might be able to um, exploit this algorithm in some regard. So enemy alerted equals true. All right. So now that we have did I just move that out of the do block? Let's see. Right. Okay, so it's still in the do block. I'll say if enemy alerted puts I see you, else the enemy just moves. Right. Casual movement. Please move. Cool. So he's about to turn. Boom, he turns. Does he eventually see me? There it is. He sees me. He is alerted. Cool. So once he's alerted, you're done, basically. Yeah, so what I'm hearing is change either one of these to greater than equal to instead of greater than or less than, or just like get rid of the else and have a default fallback case. Potentially, yeah. All right, let's do that. There we go. Here's our fallback case. All right, diagonals are handled. So enemy alerted. So now I want to say tick enemies underscore attack. And I'm going to set the no, that's not what I wanted. And then that's incorrect. That needs to be action cooldown. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Oh no. So move at needs to be action at. Let's tick enemies move. And F underscore tick enemies attack. Oh, wrong. I should have specified the dx.abs is greater than dy.abs. I got it. Cool. So they'll prefer the horizontal, I guess. And this technically can happen, but or the conditional kind of resolves the other direction. The equal is not necessarily required. I wonder if a statically typed compiler would catch that. If you had this conditional, and then your else if was checking the reverse, would the compiler say, "Hey, your else if the equal sign is unnecessary"? That's what I would expect a statically typed compiler to do, an intelligent one. Because like I think like F sharp or a camel, they've got falter cases, right? I don't care if it's fancy or not. We as humans have can reason through and say that this equal sign isn't needed. We're able to deduce that whether it's an else or an else with the nested if inside of it. But and compilers can know if they're missing like uh, case statements in a what's it called in a switch for like enumerate enum values or pattern matching is missing. I'd wonder if I'd assume they could, right? I assume that this the interesting thing with that is that there's a relationship with the conditional above, which is cool. Well, I guess the compiler couldn't because because you don't know if ABS induces a side effect, right? So if dx.abs was false here, then the equal sign could potentially be set up there. So there would be that possible side effect of the function call itself. But if there were numeric fields, no, ABS returns a numeric value. It returns a numeric value, but you don't know, but because it's the function that returns a numeric value and not it's not already bound to a function. Um, that that is where the rub is. Okay, I talked myself out of it. But you're right. The predicate will always false. It would just else would work fine. Would work fine here. And then same thing here. This could be an else, and that could be an else. Fun language design thought experiment. All right. So ICU needs to be underscore tick enemies attack. And then e dot action at is equal to state dot clock. So now we shouldn't see it spam the console. We should see one entry. The moment he can do an action. Why aren't you? Oh, because I removed it. It's like, I'm not seeing the spam at all. What's going on? All right. So I should see ICU. No? I broke the conditional. Did the conditional just break something? Really? Did the changes that I make did the changes that I made here break something? Let me just change it back. Uno momento. Oh, do I have it? Nope. That function's correct. Let me just change it back. One thing at a time. We can do that refactoring later. I want to see if this works first. Yep, so the console's there, which is good. Why is it showing? Why is that printing multiple times? Yeah, the console's right here. So you're kind of just seeing like just a small facet of it. I can make it a little easier to see. That's good. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna create a coin. And where are my coins? There are my coins. I want to consolidate that function, so the construct is repeatable, or the construction of a coin is repeatable. And what I want is the coin needs to start at the position of the enemy. Maybe, possibly. Some direction. I think I have a construct start X somewhere. Yeah. See, these directional things are doing like I'm seeing this pattern over and over and over again, right? So start X minus equal 1. Don't care about the shift X. Right? So start X is equal to E dot X. Start Y is equal to E dot Y. And then based on which way the enemy's facing, I'm going to put the coin in front of them, and then do the trajectory towards the player. I think. All right, let's see if the enemy poops out a coin. Poop out a coin. Where's the coin? State dot coins. How many coins do I have now? State dot coins. Dot length. I have 3 coins. He did not poop out a coin. Oh, because I'm not calling the function. Damn it. That's why I saw that's why I continue to spam the console too. Just wasn't calling the function. All right, poop out a coin for me. Come on. Good. Progress. Happy little accident. It's all good. Yeah, see that's what I was worried about right there, right? You I bring the coin out just immediately in front of him, and then based on my collision logic, it it kills the enemy right there because I've got like a intersect lock. Yeah, it just he's just like, ouch, I died. Yeah, so the enemy collision, I need to put it at least a distance of 2 away from me. Otherwise, just taking a coin out kills the enemy. That's that's fun. All right. Still died. I should fix that, right? It's not. There we go. Yeah, it's something. It's just like I'm what's it called? Midas, the touch, right? Golden touch. You've got the petrifying gaze, except that it turns you into gold. All right, so that looked like that worked, and I could do something better where uh, the collision of the coin, if they're heading in the right a different direction, then yada yada yada. But all right, so DX, where's my push coin? So the way I did push coin, yep, I get the trajectory, and I take that vector, and the coin's DX ends up being 80% of that trajectory. Cool. So more duplication here, right? So we've got duplication with respect to how someone's facing. There's duplication with respect to the um, the angle, the angle of the trajectory. Things I need to look at. Player.x, player.x, and sometimes I'm accessing via state instead of there's a def player function, right? So do I access do state the state variable directly, or do I use the public API? These are all the like little facets of cleanup that I need to do at some point, which I will never do, right? It's like this will never happen. I will continue adding more horrible code on top of this until the game jam is over, and then I'll never want to look at it again. So I have my new coin, and here I want to set that, and so let's see if that sends it towards the player. That would be cool if it did. What do y'all think? Is it going to explode, or is it actually going to work? Whoa! It's missing. It's missing by a hair. Wait, why aren't you just okay? So that's a lot of coins. Yeah, it just needs to hit the player, and he needs to just die, right? I know why. Uh, intersect lock. It's because I'm forgiving with the collision with respect to the player than I am with respect to the enemy. Right. So let's make the player collision the same. There it is. 2 hits. Nice. All right, and then so tick enemies. So if the player is hit with the coin, I'm gonna do player dead equal true, and that's your game over screen, right? So that'll be, and I'll render a game over dialogue or have them start over, whatever. Tick enemies attack. Return if state.player.dead. Enemies don't have to do anything once the player's dead. All right, so I'm here. There we go. And player's dead. There's no diff between coin throwers, so now you can kill yourself. Exactly, right. So if you if you if you do that and you push the coin and it ricochets back and hits you, you can hit yourself in the head. It's like, don't do that. Totally doable. Right? And then if he tries to hit me, boom, just like that. And then I could have blood spatter on me also. Power relative to player. Player color is equal to light green. Player color is equal to, I guess, brown. If game.player.dead. Yeah, so that's good that I see that, right? I've intersected the coin, so now I am dead. All the coins are terribly, terribly dangerous. They don't even have to be moving, and they can kill you. So I only care about player collision if the coins entropy, right? If dy and dx combined um, is above some threshold. So let's see what that threshold looks like. So before setting the coin's values back, we'll print out the coin. So the dx was 0.5 and the dy was 0. Is 0.5 really fast enough? Okay. So if it's above 0.5, entropy or speed, velocity, speed, let's say speed, is equal to dx.abs plus o.dy.abs, and speed is greater than 0.5. Then and only then would a player be considered dead. And then same thing for the enemy collision. So much spaghetti code. This definitely will get hairy if I don't observe it. Okay, cool. So I don't die when I walk over a coin. I can pick it up. That's good. Boom. Sees me and I'm dead. That's vicious. Yeah, so if it's really slow, I killed him and I killed myself. Coin ricocheted back onto me. Whoa, what was that? Hold on. Just did it just go through me? So that worked. Yeah. Might have some coin tunneling. Fan-freaking-tastic. We'll worry about that later. The coin speed might be too fast, even at 0.8. But that's good. So I've got enemies that can really turn, and enemies patrol and kill. So what if we had a bunch of enemies on the screen? What happens? So we'll add one there. Let's add two, see what happens. We set this to 20. We'll have them face north. Try having the coin color change depending on its dead. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Like if it's over that speed threshold, then okay. So now there's all right. Now I already feel stressed about this. Like crap, I have to think about my movement because either one of these enemies could kill me. And the thing is that you don't have line of sight. So if if there's like a wall, the there could be an enemy on the other side of the wall, and the moment you pass that threshold, he could throw a coin at you. So that's some tricky stuff right there. That's interesting. I have no idea how I'd even pass that specific thing. Anyways, let's hide the legend, and yeah, see if it feels stressful to kind of play. Yeah, and I agree. Like the Metal Gear Solid, the like exclamation point that comes up on their head, or if the player's far enough, then it's like more of a question mark. They don't immediately shoot. They're like, "Hmm, what was that?" And they move a bit closer before throwing. Or if you immediately move out of the way, and then it's like must have been the wind kind of thing. All right, this is tricky. Okay, so I know that that enemy's gonna turn. So if I shoot, fuck. Oh shit! I missed. Ouch. That was not okay. Got him. Got him. Sweet. Okay, that was a that was stressful in a good way, right? So what if I only had one coin? If I upload this somewhere, do you all want to try it or no? I can upload it if you all want. If not, I can continue. Uh, yeah, just continue working on the next facet of it. But that's almost interesting enough right there. Okay, so if I'm here and I throw it, right? I've killed that enemy, and then I can't see him. It's like crap. So I pick up the coin, He's right there, so I drop it. And like, I'm just kind of like, so then like this is a situation where I missed and like crap, I got to get the coin back. So you can pull it back to you, which is fine. Pick it back up, and then he disappeared. Where'd you go? I probably haven't got the logic on the other side working. So he just went. Yeah, I think this could work. Maybe. All right, so what if I add a dividing wall in the center? Dividing wall in the center. And we'll set that to like 10 maybe. Cool. And I want, yeah, that's not fun because it's like, all right, well, crap. I see that enemy, but I have no idea that there's an enemy around this corner, and I don't know if he's turned yet. So how would you reason about this, right? Because if I just jump out, it's like, oh no, crap, I missed. And then do you like, it's like I need my coin back. Pick up the coin, drop it. Got him. That's pretty interesting. Make one of colors background different based on whether you can see, see what's on the tile. Yeah, I agree. Like some kind of lighting or something. I also don't I also don't like that is the camera should not be centered on the player. It should be centered um at the forward-looking position of the player. So that's something that's worth fixing, right? So instead of centering it on the camera there, the player should be right here, and then I should be able to see 20 some odd pixels in front of me or something. But that goes into camera logic. It's like, do I want to write camera logic right now? Do I want to just try to get these specific things working? Okay, so that's our next set of problems. Line of sight would be the next thing. Shit. And this is kind of how I guess this is how I approach game development. I get the idea of, oh, let's do this coin shooting thing, and they can shoot coins back immediately, and it's a one hit, one shot, you're dead kind of a situation. And now I've got this problem where I have a wall and I can't look around to the other side. So what ability do I add? What thing do I put into this game that allows someone to look around a corner, right? Based on the optimization talk from before, compilers do wild stuff sometimes. Uh, close. That's a good. It's a good segue into a break. While we'll let our subconscious kind of think about how we could potentially solve that issue. So is this the x86 compilation output? Yeah, or it's actually the machine code output. Yeah, x86. It's not the IL instruction set. But yeah, so I is a random number. Yeah, so in this situation, I'm not expecting C++ to handle this. I'm expecting, your what's it called? Your high level programming languages, C sharp, um, OCaml, F sharp, Haskell, da 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 da, right? All these things that guarantee safety and warnings and help from that facet of these these type of errors that can occur like off by one, right? Would one of those higher level compilers catch this? And then, if not, why not? Why won't it catch it? So, what the hell is this? What the hell is it doing? Let's see. Is it expanding both the conditionals out and then just choosing the jump based on that? Yeah. Yeah, my brain's way too fried to look at assembly on top of what all I've done. Yeah, compilers are definitely weird. What was it? 03. 03 is supposed to be the most optimized or something, right? I don't know. Whatevs. I'm not expecting C or C sharp, C or C plus plus to do it. I want to see, but I want to see a modern. I would expect a higher level statically typed language to be able to catch these kind of things. Like TypeScript. Can TypeScript catch this error? It's got type in the name. It must be able to catch this error. It's TypeScript. I'm just trolling at this point, sorry. Let me take a break. How long have I been going? I have no idea. No idea how long I've been going. But yeah, let me take an hour or so break and then jump back on. Try to think about how I'm gonna handle this look around the wall to see the other enemies and the camera issue too. So those are the two things that I want to try to address next. Well, thanks for hanging out, everyone, and like I said, I'll be back. Yeah, 30 minutes to an hour. Hopefully, I'll see y'all then. Later.